This episode is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. This workshop is 2,000 square feet, or about 180 square meters. The grinding room is about 150 square feet, or 15 square meters. And in this workshop, we have tons of wasted floor space. So the question that we want to find out today is just how small of a workshop could I make a knife in? And so this is a 1 meter circle. So let's see if I can make a knife without stepping out of this circle.
Go on then. How are you going to start?
We're going to have to move some equipment.
Nice.
Right, what else do I need?
Such grace.
It's time for a quick interruption to thank today's sponsor. Picture the scene. You've just got a brand new phone and you're looking for the best mobile game there is to play. Enter Raid Shadow Legends with awesome visuals, loads of champions, and challenging PvE bosses. Let's chat about Hydra heads. We've got the head of Blight. This one loves poisons.
This is the head of Bite.
This is the head of Bite. Oh, she shot your head of Bite. The head of Torment. This one specializes in using true fear to drag down your enemies.
Fear of the vets.
Crazy loves going to the vets. And then there's the head of Wrath. First it gets angry, and then it gets vengeance. In exciting news, if you're a new player to the game, right now you can get your hands on the Stag Knight, as well as a skin for him designed by JonTron. On top of that, they've added Hydra Clash, which is a clan-based competition to see who can smack the Hydra bosses the hardest. Use my link in the description or scan right here to get started with this in-game loot from your free starter pack. Let's get back to the video. All right, so it is now time for my brand new workshop tour. Here, we've got our double burner forge, just outside the circle so that I don't melt. We've got our map gas torch, anvil. We have a workbench that I had to weigh down with some bits of steel and a crazy. I put a machine vise here because it's the most movable vise I had at the moment. And this rolling cart is going to be essential as this has little hand tools, my nitrile gloves, a drill, and some pin stock. Now, of course, the fabulous 2x48 steel grinder is just poking just ever so much inside the circle so that I can really get close while I'm grinding. We have our water bucket for cooling things down. We have our oil for quenching. And when it's time for lunch, I have a little rolly seat.
Not everything has to be in the circle, but you can't step outside of this circle.
I will not be able to do this. I can do this, I can do this, I can't do that. They're the rules.
There are forfeits if you are to step over that line.
I cannot get out of the circle for anything or have Jamie deliver me anything but pizza, pea bucket, or turning on and off the propane tanks behind him. So it's now time for us to see, can I make a knife in a day in a 1 meter circle? I'm gonna light the forge. We'll start forging. This is going to be the steel we use, 1080 high carbon steel. What are the forfeits you got, Jamie?
You're not going to know until you do them.
I bet it's going to involve pickles. I bet you bought pickles for me to eat. Who eats that for fun? And I do not like pickles. So far we've got the point forged down, the tip of the knife, and I've got a little bit of a fuller put in there, which is going to be the transition to the handle. So now, I can thin down that handle area.
What kind of knife would you call this? Is that like a paring knife?
I have no idea what type of knife you call this. I think it's maybe like kind of a hunty knife. You know, I'm not really one for knowing exactly what the knife is, but it's going to have a blade. It's going to have a point. It's going to be a full tang construction. So we're going to be pinning scales onto the handle. Pin, pin, pin. So it's quite a nice, simple knife to execute. It is getting very toasty next to this forge. It's actually quite nice though, it feels efficient. I've got everything right where I need. I just happen to now not have any left arm hair. Right, on this next heat, I'm going to start putting the bevels in, which is going to stretch out the tip and point it up in the right direction. So right now, the tip looks like this, it's bent down. But as soon as we start hammering a bevel on here, we're gonna be thinning out this edge area, which has the effect of lengthening it and then bending it upwards as it gets longer, hopefully making it look just right. me back! You bloody ah! Thank you for your help today, Jamie. So useful. Okay, so now I gotta mark off where we're gonna cut it. I'm gonna do a tapered tang, and so it's gonna stretch out, kind of about there. Right, just need to find a hot cut. There we go. It's a bit dull. Toasty! I can already feel my left arm picking up a little bit of a burn from the radiant heat. By the fact that it's a little toasty, I am starting to think that this might be the best work setup ever. I have had to waste so little time walking. I am just happy as Larry, to be fair. That'll do, chap, that'll do. Let it cool down nice and slow so it's as soft as possible, and then it is on to grinding. It's gonna be a long walk to the grinder. Turn that off and chuck that in the fire.
Then you're just gonna have to stand there now for about 20 minutes.
I could actually sit on the stool that I prepared for myself that you have now stolen. Here's how we're looking to fresh out the forge. Now it's on to grinding time. Got my stuff. That's so unhelpful. That makes life very inconvenient. We have to find a solution here. Ah! Yes! Ah! Ow, ow, ow.
I'm interjecting. You're finding this too easy. I think we need to shrink the circle. So if you just get out for a sec, I'll make it smaller.
Wait, hang on. That's a trick. I'm not going to get out of the circle because then I'm going to get a penalty for getting out of the circle.
I nearly got you.
I'm going to keep working.
I nearly got you.
That's a damn fine looking blade. Next step, we need holes in here for the pins that we're going to use to affix the handle scales. This is obviously not going to be able to be clamped in the vise like this. It needs to be down flat for us to drill it. I did not prepare extra screws other than the ones that are holding down the vise. I actually think with this reduced circle size, my back is starting to suffer. All right, fingers crossed it drills. Let's harden and temper this sucker. Almost. 3, 2, 1. That's inconvenient. Whoop.
Right, pizzas are going to be done in 50 seconds. And now you have a dilemma. Do you either want to sit on the floor for an hour for your lunch break, or would you like to take a forfeit and have that stool over there?
Well, it wouldn't have been a forfeit if you hadn't moved it. It wouldn't have been a forfeit. But I think I can sit on my anvil and I'm going to be just fine.
Okay, well, enjoy.
Thank you very much, Jamie. Enjoy your lunch. I'm also going to temper this knife at some point once it's cooled down.
It's still too easy. You need to make that circle smaller again.
I think until I'm balancing on one leg, I'm going to be solid. So difficult to move around in. All right, we're now going to finish out these bevels. All right, time for a belt change. Where's Jamie? Oh, there you are. I gotta change belts. We're gonna go to a Scotch-Brite conditioning belt to clean it up. We are done with 120. I feel like I'm just making a knife in a chimney pipe at this point. That's the blade finished on the grinder. Now I need to make handle scales. Somewhere in here, there we go. G10. Somehow, in our little fabulous workshop, we gotta cut out 2 handle scales. Do I reckon I'd be able to do that with this saw?
You never used a hacksaw before?
No, I've actually never used a hacksaw in a 1 foot circle. Can we do this? There's 1 scale. There was 1 scale. Ah! Ah! Well, at least there's one of our pins. It's the drill bit. Pray that all my holes lined up, and then we're gonna cut 1, 2, 4 pins, shove them through the holes. It's gonna hold the scales on, and we can start grinding the scales to size. Yep, that's correct. That is the pin stock that I need, holding my pin stock hostage.
If I give you this, then you won't do a forfeit, and I'll have to edit out every mention of forfeits in the video. So I'm gonna force you to do a forfeit. Any guesses?
Oh, surprise, surprise, it's pickles. Ugh.
Full gherkin.
A full gherkin.
We actually had a lot of haters on the last time we had a gherkin forfeit. Why are you being so wimpy over a gherkin? Gherkins are lovely.
Done. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to eat a gherkin. Ah. Pop that there. Pop, pop, pop. I definitely take for granted the ability to kind of stretch the legs. So we have handle scales ready to be installed. Question is, how do we install them? I was thinking about gluing it and just pinning it, but after our little vice grip project, I liked those rivets so much, I think I'm quite tempted to do rivets instead of gluing it. I've got to peen these rivets over, then we've got to sharpen it, and we've got a finished blade. And so with that, the knife is done. It is sharp, rubberized G10 riveted on scales. It's a sweet little small whatever knife. The really cool thing about this day is it shows that you don't really need a lot of space to be able to make a knife, to be able to make cool stuff. So long as you've got adequate ventilation, it's safe enough to have a fire, it's safe enough to make some noise. This is all you really need. But this was a ton of fun. Thank you very much for watching. Please check out today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends, by going to the link in the description down below. And now that we know there's no space limitations, if you want to get started in knife making, you can pick yourself up one of these bad boys. We've got links that show you what motor and VFD you gotta get. It's a really easy setup to get those wired together. We're clearing out our inventory, and we'd love it if you would get one at a huge discount at alecsteelco.com. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Wow, it's actually smaller once you're here.
You think?
Yeah, on the inside it feels a lot more cramped.
It definitely feels like
I already stood out the circle.
You already stood out the circle?